Hello and welcome back to the channel. Now it's New Year, so there's a new start for the channel, and today I have come to Rhyl here on the North Wales coast to see if this is really one of Britain's worst seaside towns. Now the reason I'm asking that question is because for quite a while, you've probably seen it, a lot of the national and some of the regional newspapers have been branding it as that. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take a walk along the seafront here in Rhyl to see what's on offer, what's about to close, and what was once here in Rhyl, as I find out whether or not this is really one of Britain's worst seaside towns.
So we're going to start the video here today in Rhyl, in front of the Rhyl Pavilion and the 1891 bar. We're going to head over there in just a moment, but first I want to talk about what we can see in front of us. Right over there is the remnants of an attraction that operated for just under 6 months here on the seafront in Rhyl. This was the Zip World Sky Flyer. Now this only operated, I believe, for just under 6 months, and what it was a hot air balloon attraction. You can see you've still got the platform, you've still got the mechanism over there, but it didn't operate for long purely because there was high winds here in Rhyl at one point and the hot air balloon decided to pop in the high winds, and it hasn't operated since. They haven't decided to replace it, and the rest of it is just standing but not operating. A great shame, because I believe it was the first of its kind for the country, definitely the first of its kind here in North Wales. But yeah, it didn't operate for very long, and now there's more or less nothing of it. You can't go in there, you can't go on it, of course, the balloon's not here. But yeah, they tried something, it didn't work, and now it's just standing but not operating. However, nothing will compare to what used to be on this site. We're going to talk about it right now. This was for about 30 years the highlight of Rhyl, was of course Rhyl Sun Centre, and that's what we're going to talk about right now. So here we are, I've just moved around the corner. As you can see, I've still got the pavilion and the 1891 bar behind me, and as I did say, we do have the remnants of the Zip World Skyflyer that used to be here in Rhyl about 2 years ago. But as I did say, on this site in the past, for I believe 33 years, we did have Rhyl Sun Centre. Do you remember coming to Rhyl Sun Centre? Do let me know in the comments down below. It was one of North Wales' best attractions in my opinion. It was a massive indoor water park that had loads of slides. There's a massive wave pool. Do you remember that? The big wave pool? I can't remember how often the waves used to come on, but it used to have really good waves. And there was also a monorail going around the top of the building. I don't remember doing that myself. If you go on the Google and you type in photos of Rhyl Sun Centre, you can definitely see the photos of the monorail. There used to be a few slides as well. I believe, if I turn the camera there, just about there would have been a tower with about 2 slides. I believe there was a pink one, and I want to say a purple one as well. I might be getting that mixed up. But there were definitely 2 slides that went outside. You used to climb up a big tower, used to go down the slides into the pool in the Sun Centre. But that opened here back in 1980. It closed in 2013, and it was demolished back in 2016. As you can see, not a lot of it remains at all. In fact, nothing remains here at all. You wouldn't even know if you've never been to Rhyl that there used to be a Sun Centre here. And it was a great shame when it did go, because it was definitely the highlight of Rhyl. However, there is now a new water park in Rhyl just over there in that direction. We are going to check it out in a moment. However, as I'm going to tell you later on in the video, it's not looking good for that, because that itself, it's standing but not operating. Another thing, it's in Rhyl, but you just can't do at the moment. But what I'm going to do now, remind me, what are your memories of the Rhyl Sun Centre? Do let me know in the video comments down below. But now I'm going to go around the corner. We're going to go on the other side of the building behind me, and we're going to talk about the Rhyl Pavilion, which is probably now the highlight of Rhyl. And now just one final look in the sunshine. It's a lovely day here in Rhyl today at where the Sun Centre once was. I tell you what, I do miss the Sun Centre. Do you remember inside they used to have the octopus and the elephant slide? You used to slide down the elephant's trunk, and I believe on the octopus there were about 4 or 5 slides, all the different tentacles. They were definitely for me the highlights of Rhyl Sun Centre. And there's another look at bar 1891. Of course the building was attached to the pavilion, however since the Sun Centre closed, they've done it all up. They've added this new bar onto the side. It does look quite good, however, I'm sure you'll agree with me, I would love to see Sun Centre come back as it was, but I don't think that'll be happening anytime soon. As I said earlier, it is a lovely blue sky day here in Rhyl, and now I've made my way around the corner to the Pavilion Theater right in front of me. Now, as I did say, this used to connect to the Sun Centre over there. You can still see the architecture. It was all very round like that. They have painted it up since the Sun Centre was closed, but that's what more or less the Sun Centre used to look like as it was attached to the Pavilion Theater here in Rhyl. Now this pavilion here opened in 1991, but it's actually the third pavilion to open here in Rhyl. The first one opened in 1891, hence why the bar over there is named after that year. But this pavilion, it's got year-round events, loads of good acts. I know they do a good pantomime every year in December. But if you go on their website, you'll be able to see the full itinerary of what is on here at the pavilion. And as I did say earlier, it is probably the main attraction now in Rhyl, purely because it's one of the only things here that actually has things on year-round, something that would draw people to the village. However, what we're going to do now is I'm going to drive down the coast. We're going to head over in that direction. There's not a lot to show you past there. For about a mile, we've got a travel lodge over there, and that is more or less it. But we're going to head down in that direction, down where you can see the Sky Tower, and I believe over there there's a crane. We're going to check out what that's for as well. But yes, one final look at the Pavilion Theater here in Rhyl. As I did say, probably the key attraction now on the seafront, but we're going to carry on in that direction. So I've made my way further down the coast now here in Rhyl. As you can see, over there was where we just once were, where we can see the Rhyl Pavilion. In front of it is that travel lodge. You've also got a pub in front of it, and as you can see, you've got these big greens as well. That is the bowls centre, so if you like playing your bowls here in Rhyl, you've got them 3 courts, I believe, for that. You've also got to the left of me, we have got the RNLI centre here in Rhyl, making sure everyone's safe. But if you are going out in the water, do behave. We don't want to put any more pressure on them. And as you can see, it is still a beautiful day here in Rhyl. I'll let you into a little secret. This isn't actually the first time I've tried to do this video, because I came here on the weekend, tried to film it, then when I got home, tried to edit it, I deleted all the footage. However, it was very icy, I was slipping everywhere, so it wouldn't have been as good. But today, it is absolutely beautiful. And as I pan round to my right, we have got the Rhyl events area. Now this is absolutely massive. As you can see, if I turn around the camera over here, we've got loads of room for events. And in fairness, this is sometimes used for that. Just what it says on the tin, the event arena. Now this, I believe a few years ago, was home to a Tom Jones concert. You would have had thousands of people all stood around here watching Tom. And I believe the stage would have been around about here, but you've got to give it to them. This is a decent site for big events. We like a concert, we like our music here in North Wales, and this is the perfect site for it. I don't believe there's anything happening this year as far as I'm aware. However, I'm sure there will be more stuff happening here in the future. But this is basically the centre point of Rhyl seafront. Over there, you've got, as I have said, where we've been throughout this video. And we're going to move on now to our right. We're going to go past here in a minute, and we're going to head over here where there is a lot to say. As you can see right in front of me, you've got the SeaQuarium building. Now from this angle, it looks like it's still operating. The roof's still intact. However, as I'm going to go round the corner in a few moments' time, you're going to see that this is in the process of being demolished. It won't be any more much longer. And then, as I did say, we've got a crane over there. It's not what I thought it was. I thought the crane was for the SeaQuarium being demolished, but that is being demolished. But over there, we've got SC2, the new water park here in Rhyl. I say new, it's been here for about 6 years now. But we're going to head over there, we're going to talk about that, because that has had a bit of an eventful history recently. But yeah, here we go. Another look at the Rhyl Events Arena here in the gorgeous sunshine with absolutely nobody here. It is January, we are out of season here in Rhyl. However, if I'm being completely honest with you now, if you did come in the summer, there wouldn't be a lot much different. But yeah, as I did say, we're going to head over here now. I'm going to walk along this very intricate walkway. I'm stood on this platform right here. We're going to head over in that direction. We're going to head over towards the SeaQuarium. We're going to talk about that and why it's being demolished. Now, as I did say earlier in the video, I did try and film this video earlier in the month. However, it didn't quite go to plan. But one stark difference between then and today is the fact that there is a lot of construction going on here on the seafront. You've got quite a few workers down where the car park is in the middle of Rhyl, working on, I believe, refurbishing it. You've also got quite a lot of work going along the seafront to redo that. And also, if I turn right behind me, there we go, we can see we have got the SeaQuarium. Now this was here between 1992 and 2023. I'm going to go there a little bit closer in a moment to show you the demolition of it. It closed back in November 2023, and it has been standing but not operating ever since. But now Rhyl Council are in the process of demolishing it. I'm not entirely sure what they're going to do to replace it. However, it is another thing lost from Rhyl Seafront. We have lost quite a lot over the years, so it is a shame to see something else. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to head over, I'm going to show you the demolition work taking place, because soon this will be no more here on the seafront in Rhyl. And as you can see there, if you can hear me, we have got some of the demolition work taking place on the SeaQuarium here in Rhyl. We've got a massive hole in the middle of the building there. It is a great shame. I never went in there myself. I believe I didn't. However, it is something that we're losing on the seafront here in Rhyl. Great shame, because we have lost quite a lot over the years that I will talk about as we get further down along the seafront. But there we go, we've got the digger in action, demolishing the building. A great shame. But we have got some plans over there. We're going to head over there. Let's have a look at what they are planning for the seafront. As we can see, Denbighshire County Council, Central Rhyl Coastal Defence Scheme. Now, as we can see here, if I show you, we've got now here, that is where the SeaQuarium is now. But they are doing up the whole of the front of Rhyl. And also, if we look down here, this is a bit further down past SC2. We've got a new park there. But that is the plan, as you can see, for the new coastal defence scheme here in Rhyl. But now it's time for us to head more into the main centre of Rhyl. As you can see, there's a hive of activity over there with the crane on SC2. And here's another look at the work taking place along the seafront. The central car park is completely closed. It is quite a good car park there, quite convenient, and I believe when it's open you do get an hour's parking for free. So there we go, a little look at some of the work taking place here in Rhyl. But let's head over now towards the front and take a look at all that's going on over here. This is probably the main hub of activity when it is open here in Rhyl. I tell you what, you can't beat the seaside in the sunshine, even if it is a slightly breezy January day. And over here in the middle of Rhyl, yeah, I've got probably one of the most iconic parts, probably the most iconic view now here in Rhyl, and this is the clock tower in the centre of the town. This dates back to the 40s, and it moved to this location in the 1990s. It used to be, I believe, closer into the town centre, but since the early 90s it has been here on the roundabout in the middle of Rhyl. And behind it, that building there, that used to be a Woolworths. Do you remember Woolworths? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you remember Woolworths? Do you miss Woolworths? I know I certainly do. But yeah, there is a view of the clock tower in the middle of the roundabout. As we can see, cars are going past, but they're not stopping, because if we're being honest, there's not a lot to show you here in Rhyl. But over there we have got the Bright Spot Arcade. That isn't open, of course, we are still out of season, but I know for a fact that that is still operating. One of the only arcades still here in Rhyl. But when you do come in peak season, you will find that open. So we've crossed the road now, I've passed the tourist and information centre, and I've made my way to the children's village here in Rhyl. It is very, very retro. You've got loads of these mosaics on the floor. As I take a walk around, you can see, as it is out of season, it is completely closed, completely deserted. However, this is a hive of activity when it does come to the summer. You've got a few roller coasters here. You've got a nice big apple there with an actual big apple. You don't get many of them now. So you've got that here. That is a relatively recent addition. I don't remember that being here a few years ago. But we're going to take a walk through. There's absolutely nobody here today. You have also got a ice cream stall, cafe and cream. And off to my right we do have the Welsh Dragon Golf. That is a nice little miniature golf. You've got a few water fountains, a few different courses. And when I came on the weekend, it was completely frozen, all of that. And I was slipping all along here. In a way, I'm glad that video doesn't exist now, because it wasn't the best, if I'm being honest. Over here we have got the dodgems track without any of the dodgems. I believe the dodgems might be in there. They might be in that blue container. But you have got the dodgems out of season, out of operation. But it is one of the attractions here in the children's village. I believe over here you've got what used to be, I don't know if it still operates, but they used to have bumper boats. You know, the ones you sit on the water, put a pound in the machine, and then you go round and hit another in the bumper boat. I believe that's what that is for. And I know over there they like to have a soft play inflatable bouncy castle thing. That usually goes over there in the corner. And right behind me we do have the main attraction here in the children's village. That being, as you can see behind me, the Nessie roller coaster a little children's roller coaster. It is the Children's Village after all. A little ride that I do remember going on when I was little. Did you? Or do you still go on the Nessie? Let me know in the comments down below. But that is more or less all there is to show you here in the Children's Village. There isn't a lot left. There's a couple of smaller rides over in that direction, but that is more or less it. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to head towards this direction over here, as there are a few attractions to talk about. One of them, it hasn't been operating for about 15 years. One of them is just about to close, and another one has got a bit of work being done to it. So there's a lot to talk about, and we're going to head over in that direction. And as you can see behind me, also remember, you've got ride tokens. That's how they do it here at the Children's Village. And if I do remember, I will now insert an image of the ride token prices, as I did take a photo of that a few years ago. It was a few years ago, so they may have changed the prices now, but that is a general idea of what it costs if you do want to bring your kids here to the Children's Village in Rhyl. Before I move on to talk about some of the attractions here in Rhyl, I thought it's best to look at some of the other things. Along the seafront over there, you have got Les Harker's Monte Carlo Amusements. Good old Les Harker. That is over there. I don't believe it's open today. However, that is still operating when it is the main summer season here in Rhyl. To my right over there, you've got a Premier Inn, one of the chain hotels. Who doesn't love a Premier Inn? That is still open, and I'm not entirely sure what the rooms are like. However, I imagine with it being a chain hotel, it is probably alright. However, we are in Rhyl, so don't quote me on that. It might not be the best. I've never stayed there myself. However, if you like your chain hotels, Rhyl does have a Premier Inn and a Travelodge that we did see down towards the Pavilion. And then over there, this is something which has only happened in the last few days. There's scaffolding all along Mr. B's Amusements. That wasn't there when I came last week, so they're clearly doing some work to that. And I believe that arcade is also open when it is in the main summer season, which is good to see. But yeah, there is a lot of work going on down here in Rhyl, as I'm going to talk about as we move towards looking at SC2, as we look up there, the Sky Tower. But first, it's time to talk about the View Cinema. So here we are right outside of the View Cinema. As we can see, you've got the sign up there. Now this, it's been here since 2011. It's been a View Cinema since that year. And unfortunately, you don't have long left to see a film here because it is closing at the end of this month, January 2025. I believe View aren't redoing the lease that they have on the building. So yeah, it is soon going to be no more here on the seafront, which is a great shame, because if you want to see a film now in the local area, the closest cinema to this is the Cineworld down the road in Llandudno, but that is a couple of villages away. You've got to go through Tywyn and through Rwsonsea if you want to see a film. But sadly, this building will be no more. Well, it'll be standing again, joining, but not operating. It's a shame. I don't know if there'll be any operators overtaking the cinema. Might get a new one in. However, it doesn't look likely. So yeah, if you want to see one of the films that they do have on show, get yourselves down to the View Cinema here in Rhyl as quickly as possible, because at the end of the month it will be no more. I'm not entirely sure what the last day it is for this. However, yeah, the View Cinema is closing this month, January 2025. I've done a lot of walking today, so I've come back to the car for a little sit down whilst I talk to you a little bit about the Rhyl Sky Tower here in the middle of the main car park on Rhyl Seafront. And talking of the car park, if you do want to park here, it isn't badly priced. It does vary whether you come in season or out of season. I've just paid, I believe, £3 for 4 hours in the middle of January 2025, which isn't bad at all. But as I pan up and show you the Sky Tower standing here at about 240 foot. Now this has been on the seafront since 1989. It operated here between that year and 2010, and it was an observation tower. You would have had a gondola doing more or less what I'm doing now, going up and down the tower. Since then, it has been joining, standing, but not operating, and it is now used as a light feature when it's dark. Obviously, it's in the middle of the afternoon here. However, when it does get dark, I believe it does still light up. And it does look quite nice. However, I'd much rather it be a operating ride. And a fun fact for you, it hasn't always operated in Rhyl. It originally operated at the Glasgow Gardens Festival back in 1988. And when it was there, it was opened by the King now, King Charles and Lady Diana. So that's a fun fact for you. They opened this ride when it was up in Glasgow, but after the festival ended, it was moved down here to Rhyl, and it has been standing here ever since. But sadly, it doesn't operate anymore. But as you probably can hear, and as I did show you at the start of the clip, there is a lot of work going on over here at SC2. This has all started in the last few days. When I came here on the weekend, there was some scaffolding on the building, however, not as much as there is now. So we're going to take a look at SC2. I'm going to talk about its history and what's happening to it now, because hopefully it's looking promising that it may be reopening at some point soon. But let's have a look at SC2. So as you can see, the workmen are hard at work doing work to SC2, and here is a better look at the front of it. It does look rather nice. I've always liked the logo for SC2. Now this has been here since 2019. Now it is more or less a reincarnation of the Sun Centre down the road, however it's nowhere near as good as what that once was. Been here since 2019, as I did say. However, for well over a year, the main water park side of it hasn't been operating, and I believe that's what the workmen are working on right now. On the other side of the scaffolding will be the water park section. However, inside, I know you do have a laser tag and a adventure play, soft play in there. I think there's also a Costa Coffee inside. They have all still been open for the last year, however the main water park hasn't, which is a shame, as that is what would draw people to the site, and I don't think it was the cheapest either to get in. But as we can see, we've got some work. I'm not going to head over there. I'm going to let them do it in peace without me shoving a camera in their face, but we can see there is work. I'm not entirely sure how long it's going to take them to get through it, to see how long it may take for the SC2 water park to reopen. However, hopefully it won't be too long before we can get back in there, because for what it is, it's a smaller one, but it does look relatively decent. And one final look there at the Sky Tower here in the car park in Rhyl. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get back in the car and I'm going to drive down in that direction. We're going to head down there because I'm going to show you the biggest change probably that Rhyl has seen over the last 15 years or so, because down there was where the Ocean Beach Fun Fair was. But whilst I remember, I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to show you. Can you see that dragon there on the front of the arcade? That's been here for donkey's years. I remember that when I was little. That's another arcade. I believe that one is still open as well. So you've got a couple of arcades still open here in Rhyl. But yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to head down in that direction and we're going to wrap up the video on the shopping centre where the Ocean Beach Fun Fair once was. As you can see, there is a lot of work going on here in Rhyl. The workmen are hard at work doing the new coastal defence scheme, and hopefully that should be done hopefully at some point, I believe autumn of this year. But as I move my way down towards the Marina Quay shopping park, I thought I'd show you this little mural down here, Rhyl, 1794 to 2006. Now this is a little hidden gem. You wouldn't know exactly where this was if you didn't come to Rhyl often. However, it's got loads and loads of old photos. You've got one of the old pavilions, as I was talking about earlier. There used to be, there's been 3 over the course of Rhyl's history. That was one of them there. Loads of old photos of people, loads of happy memories for many people. Maybe you're on one of these photos, or maybe you've got a family member on one of these. If that's the case, do let me know. I love looking at old photos. I love my history, especially of the North Wales coast. And this is probably one of my favourites here on the mural. There you've got the clock tower, as that is now on the roundabout in the middle of the centre. But Rhyl, for a short while, used to have a monorail. Now I believe this was a bit like the Skyflyer. I don't think that was here for very long. However, there is photographic evidence of Rhyl's former monorail. I wish they would still have one of them here. I think that would probably entice more people into the town. But yeah, we've got a few more memories, lots of lovely photos here in Rhyl. And as I was saying, the Sun Centre, SC2 as I should call it, loads of scaffolding. In fact, I think there's more scaffolding on the building now than there was on the weekend. There's definitely proper work being done here to try and hopefully get it back open. But yeah, you've got one of the slides there. That is one of the ones part of the water park. And you've also got an outdoor bit. It's just a real shame that all this work's being done now, considering this is only, what, 6 years old? Not even that. Just over 5 years old, and it is still not in the best kept condition. They've clearly got to do a lot of work on the building. It's a great shame. It should be thriving now on a day like today. It should be packed inside, but it's simply not. But work's being done. Hopefully it won't be too long before it is back open. But yeah, you can probably hear me just on the other side. Loads and loads of work being done to hopefully make Rhyl look a better place. However, it needs to have some more attractions. It's all well and good spending the money, making it look nice, but what will attract people is attractions. People don't come because you've put a few nice fences up. They come because there's things to do. and that's what Rhyl used to have in the Ocean Beach Fun Fair. We're going to head down there now, the site where it once stood. We're going to talk about that because it's now a shopping park. And one zoomed in look over there at that dragon. I've always loved that dragon. I thought I'd get it in the video. A little remnant. Rhyl used to have a lot of character, a lot of charm, and that is a little remnant of that. Unfortunately, Ryl's not the same anymore. A lot has changed, but I'm going to summarise it all in this video. But yeah, you've got the amusements and you've also got an indoor play area called Geronimo's here on the seafront. That is something, if you've got kids, there's a few things to do, not a lot, but Rhyl still does have a few things. One of them is that dragon. Always love that. So I've made my way now down here to the Marina Quay shopping park. We're going to take a look at this in a few moments. I'm going to talk about the history of this site because there is quite a lot to say. But one thing that often gets overlooked here in Rhyl is the miniature railway. It is down here. It's not along the seafront, however it is one of the only attractions here in Rhyl. There is the station building for it. Train rides there. Established 1911, so it's well over 100 years old. I believe they are doing some work to it, getting it ready for the summer season. It goes there around the lake and it's here on offer in Rhyl. If you go on their website, it'll probably tell you the opening times and the prices. I'm not too sure of them myself because in fact, I've never done it. I've been to Rhyl loads of times over the years, been here countless. Come here probably at least 4, maybe 5 times a year. Well, I say that, I drive through it 4 or 5 times a year. But I've never actually done this. Maybe that's something to do a bit later in the year. But yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn around and we're going to talk about what we can see over here, the Marina Quay shopping park. This is a relatively new addition here to Rhyl. You've got quite a few shops in fairness, however, none of this is as good as what used to be here. That was the Ocean Beach Fun Fair. That's what I'm going to talk about right now. And as I pan the camera around, we can see what is on offer here at the Marina Quay shopping centre. As we can see, all of the units are now full. I know it's taken quite a few years for this to happen, but as you can see, all the shops are full. You've got a Costa, you've got an Audi, you've got, I believe it's a Piri Piri chicken shop over there, got a card factory, a ice cream shop, Greg's, gotta love a Greg's. Over there you've got farm foods, One Beyond and a B&M, and a range as well. This has been here, this car park and the shopping centre as well since 2017. However, a decade prior to that, this was the site to the Ocean Beach Fun Fair. Do you remember coming to the fun fair here in Rhyl? I don't remember. I was a bit too young to remember it. However, if you go on the internet, there's loads of photos, loads of articles about the site. Now, I believe over here, over there, used to be the water shoot. They used to have a water shoot attraction, a bit like one that used to be at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. They used to have one of them. Over in that direction, you would have had the Pepsi Cola Loop, and then over there would have been the main entrance with a massive clown welcoming you into the Ocean Beach Fun Fair. There were loads of other rides here over the years. In fact, I believe over there, I'm pointing towards the seafront there, that was home at one point to the UK's first tubular steel roller coaster. How about that for a fact? That being the Mad Mouse. But all around here would have been rides. There was a ghost train, other little bits for the kids all around here. But now the only ride in the area, if you could class it as a ride, is the train over there, the miniature railway. But yeah, this has been the Marina Quay shopping centre since 2017. Nearly a decade old now, all of this. I know the ground stood abandoned for a little while. However, it is now back to being in use just as a shopping centre. But that nearly does wrap up the video here in Rhyl. We've been through all of the main key attractions here on the seafront, what has been, what's about to close, and what is still here. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get back in the car. It's a little bit cold now and you can hear the police sirens, so we're going to get in the car so you can hear me speak, and I'm going to review Rhyl and see whether or not it really is Britain's worst seaside town. Uh-oh, someone's having a bad day. But yeah, let's get back in the car. Let's see if it is really Britain's worst seaside town. So here I am back in the car, ready to round up today's video from Rhyl here in North Wales. So I'm going to answer the question now that is in the title of the video, and that is Rhyl Britain's worst seaside town? And the answer to that is, I don't know. It's up to you. What do you think of Rhyl? Do you think, after you've seen this video, it's a nice place? Is it a bad place? Have you been here recently? Have you not been here for 20, 30, 40 years? Do let me know in the comments down below. Now, if I'm being honest with you now, it's not the worst. However, it's certainly not the best at the moment. I've got to give it some slack because obviously it's January, the middle of January. It's not the summertime. It's not open real properly. So a lot of things that would be on offer in the summer aren't on offer today. However, a lot of the stuff that I have shown you today would more or less be the same in the summer. For example, in the summer you're not going to have a SeaQuarium anymore. You won't have the View Cinema. Hopefully the SC2 water park will be reopening. I'd like to think so, considering it's been closed for over a year now. They're doing work to it. Obviously, you've still got the Rhyl Pavilion with events on throughout the year. If you want to look on their website, that'll show you what is exactly on. I know they have stuff on around the year, which is, it's good because, you know, if you want to come whatever time of year, if you want to see something, you can do at the Rhyl Pavilion. But there are a lot of theatres in North Wales, all of which do deserve our support. So if you see anything you like, do go and help them out. Apart from that, there isn't really a lot to talk about today because a lot of it has been closed, as I've been saying quite a few times in this video. Standing but not operating, that's the quote of the video from today. I'm using a theme park phrase there. Obviously the Children's Village, that isn't open. It will be when it gets to the summer holidays, school holidays, them sort of things do open. And when it is and the sun's shining, it's not too bad. Obviously Rhyl is also having a lot of work done to the coastal along the seafront. A lot of work is being done to that. And from the concept art we saw by the SeaQuarium, it will look quite good. But as I did say, looking good doesn't bring people in. People want to come here if there's something on, something to do. And Ryl's lost a lot of that over the years. We've lost the Sun Centre, the original Sun Centre, the best Sun Centre, of course, in my opinion. And also where we are now, I'm still here on the Marina Quay Shopping Park. This used to be the Ocean Beach Fun Fair. It's not here anymore. In fairness, there is a fair in that direction, down towards Towyn. You've got Tearprint and you've got Knightley's. I might do a video later on in the year from Towyn because there is a lot going on in Towyn. That is probably now overtaken Rhyl as one of the better seaside towns in North Wales. Over the last 5-10 years, a lot of money has been put into Towyn. There's a lot of caravan parks there. A lot of people go there in the summer, and it's generally a nice place now. Unlike Rhyl, it's not the best at the moment. A lot of work does need to be done, especially on bringing new attractions in. They tried with the Skyflyer. It looked quite good. I didn't do it myself, but it's closed. They haven't decided to reinvest in it. So something new really needs to go there because it was once a site at the Sun Centre. I'd like to think that there's something in the works. But again, I'm not Rhyl Council. I don't know myself. But hopefully, in the next few years, things can be done. However, I would have probably been saying that 5-10 years ago. Hopefully things can be done. But if we're being honest, not a lot has been done to Rhyl. But once again, what do you think about after what you've seen in this vlog? Has this enticed you to visit Rhyl by any chance? Let me know in the comments down below. And I thank you very much indeed for joining me on this video today. Something a little bit different for me. First time doing a video like this. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have made it to this point in the video, thank you very much. Hopefully there'll be a few more videos throughout the year as I do gallivant around the country. I like traveling now. I love driving about. And if I go anywhere that is of interest for a video, I'll be sure to record it. But once again, thank you very much for joining me in this video. Do hit that like button. Feel free to subscribe to the channel just in case I do upload any more videos. But once again, thank you very much for joining me and I'll see you around. Bye for now.